really interesting thing to really talk about is a farm data space, and what Pairtree sees that is that obviously farmers are going to have a lot of data from a number of different sources across their farm, but pulling that into one place is really important. But that data space is then being able to use for lending and risk, for insurance, for emissions, for ISCC or a market access type situation, or just benchmarking. But again, as a farmer, what Pairtree really thinks about is making sure that the farmer has the ability to share it to their agronomist and actually get the most value to make sure that they're being profitable and making the best decisions every day. So a real example how Pairtree can help, and particularly for some Riverine Plains members, is really about trying to pull all of that farm management software, soil moisture, weather station data, but then also layering it with EM surveys or satellite imagery and yield data. When all that comes together, that really gives both the grower group or also the agronomists the best level of data access to start to run models or do an end of year assessment on what that actually the crop production was, what could have been done better, what was left on the table, and think about for next year. So we look at ISCC or some of these low carbon grain options that are out there, and there's anywhere between $10 to $25 a tonne in value that farmers can actually get by just making sure that they're recording their information and doing that in a way that actually fits their business. And so that means that every activity you do, you need to actually record that through your farm management software or through your screen in your tractor. And once we get that point, we can actually put all that together and start to roll that up and actually start to have one-touch compliance where you don't actually have to do any more data entry manually. You actually start to get it to a point where it's just continually providing compliance and proof that you're acting in the best way. So I've just really spoken about how agtech data can actually be used in a meaningful way. So again, 1 + 1 = 3 is the easiest analogy. By putting everything together, you actually get greater insights than actually everything being fragmented and separate. The SCOUT program is going to be really exciting because I think that's where Riverine Plains and a lot of other Australian grain producers should be able to look and see what is the reason for adopting agtech, what is the value that agtech creates, and then also understand what the opportunities are, because with AI, with automation, and with a lot of data-centric type services coming over the hill, there's going to be groups like Riverine Plains that will be key in helping you make that decision on what actually will work on the farm, and test that so that farmers don't get burnt with things that aren't ready or not actually going to work within a particular sort of production system.